The Carolina Panthers will wrap up their 2020 season at home, taking on the 11-4 Saints, who just showed they can be equally dangerous when they run the ball. Let us quickly recap Alvin Kamara's historic night in a matter of a few seconds.
Right up the gut, he is gone. Kamara, touchdown, cuts upfield, touchdown.
As we pointed out in last week's game preview, Alvin Kamara had not received 20-plus carries all season. Well, now you know what he can do when he does.
Kamara again.
Have a day, Alvin Kamara.
Now 6, tied for the most all-time.
6 rushing TDs, tied for the all-time NFL record, but Kamara didn't just punch in a bunch of TDs either. He finished with 155 rushing yards.
And just some really tough running.
Kamara now has 16 rushing TDs this year, is averaging 5 yards a carry, and needs just 68 more yards to put up his first 1,000-plus yard season of his career.
Alvin Kamara is going to go for 11.
He seems primed to do that, assuming he gets enough carries. He picked up 83 yards on just 14 attempts against the Panthers in Week 7.
Kamara with a first down and more. Nice jump cut.
The Panthers' defense hasn't fared well against most rush attacks either. Last week, they gave up over 5.7 yards per run to Washington, and they're giving up over 4.5 a pop for the year.
Antonio Gibson, strong run.
Kamara's big night last week did cover up an off night for Drew Brees, though.
Pass is passed.
This is one of the strangest Drew Brees stat lines you'll ever see for a Saints game, where they scored over 50 points. He didn't throw a single TD against the Vikings and was picked off twice on his way to an 80.8 rating.
Brees is sitting here thinking, man, just some bad breaks here and there.
That's back-to-back games now. Brees has finished a game with a sub-90 rating, too, not looking quite as sharp since coming back from his injuries.
I don't know what Brees would have thought that ball had been intercepted.
With all that said, he still threw for over 300 yards, and there were plenty of big splash plays mixed in there as he averaged a fat 12.1 yards per attempt.
Brees, wide open Sanders.
And he did play well against the Panthers when he faced them earlier. Close to 300 yards, 2 TDs, and a rating close to 120.
Well thrown ball by Drew Brees. Solid performer.
If you go off how Carolina played the pass this season, those numbers aren't surprising.
Wide open along the sideline. Then it turns into a big game.
But the Panthers have done an about-face these last 2 weeks when it comes to stopping the pass, picking off Dwayne Haskins twice last week and holding him to a minuscule 36.9 rating.
Some time, and it's intercepted.
And the week before, holding Aaron Rodgers to under 150 yards passing.
Rodgers off his back foot, and it's incomplete.
So Brees may not have an easy time trying to get back on track against them. But he's also not the only one who could use some fine-tuning. New Orleans' rush defense gave up close to 5 yards a run to Dalvin Cook, though it was at least Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook is in.
But their pass D allowed Kirk Cousins to throw for close to 300 yards against them, 3 TDs, a rating over 110.
Cousins looks left, has a man. Pass is caught for the touchdown.
Now they get Teddy Bridgewater, who didn't really produce much against a tough Washington defense that held him to under 200 yards passing while sacking him 4 times.
Bridgewater is devoured.
The Saints do have the ability to get after a QB. 2 sacks last week, top 10 for the season.
Vikings need a conversion, and they're not going to get it. Ball is out.
This game means more to the Saints than it does to Carolina, but last week's game meant more to Washington, and look how that turned out. Can they trip up another division leader late, or do the Saints go marching into the playoffs with a win? Your predictions into the comments section. You know where ours go, and not there. Come on, man. This is a family channel.
Back to it. I wasn't sure if they were real.
Here's Hill. Touchdown.
Punting to Steven Sims. Second year from Kansas. Sims loses the ball. He gets knocked back to the end zone and jumped on by Carolina.